Hello once again. So today I'm going to continue my report with the introduction to the organization on another topic in human resource management. Once again, my name is Edward Nugla. So it is important to ensure that care is taken over introducing people to the organization through effective induction arrangements. So we will be talking about what you can do to make introduction to the organization effective for the starter, for the new employee. So induction defined. So induction is the process of welcoming new employees and providing them with the basic information they need to settle in quickly and happily. So induction has four aims. Number one, okay, when you are new to an organization, everything will feel strange and unfamiliar. So an introduction to an organization or an induction would smoothen the preliminary stages. Number two, to establish a favorable attitude towards the company. So the employee would be more likely to stay if he or she feels that this company is likable, right? Right. Number three, to obtain effective output from the new employee. What does this mean? You can already ask. So how do they feel? How was the introduction? Right. So you can do it better the next time around for the next employee. And finally, to reduce the likelihood of the employee leaving quickly. We don't want our new hires to leave soon or so soon, right? Because that will also cost uh, a lot for the organization. So why taking care of what induction is important? So why is it important? Number one, it reduces the cost and inconvenience of early leavers. So when employees leave during their first month or even within the first 2 to 3 months, right? The cost can include recruitment cost of replacement, induction cost, you give training and that cost you money as well. The cost of temporary agency replacement if you are going to hire a temporary replacement. So the cost of excess supervision and error correction, and the gap between the employee's value to the company and the cost of the employee's pay and benefits. Of course, you also paid for that particular employee. You paid his salary and his benefits, and then he just left in the first 3 months or earlier. Right? So we don't want that happening. We don't want people to leave so soon. Second, when the introduction to the organization is well done, well executed, it also increases the commitment. Because first impressions of the company is very decisive, no? As they say, first impressions last, and uh, we are hoping that this impression is repeated during the first few weeks of work. So we want to gain commitment. We want them to stay, and we want them to work hard. Third is clarifying the psychological contract. So, a psychological contract is a set of unwritten assumptions and beliefs about how employees should behave. So, not everything is written on the employee handbook, right? There are norms, values, and attitudes that we want our employees to have. So, during the introduction and the induction to the organization, we help employees understand the organization's expectations in terms of behavior and values. So when we induct them, we inform them how things are done around here. So this reduces misunderstandings. Okay. So that they would know how things are done in this certain organization that might not be the same in their previous organization. So likewise, if the introduction to the organization is well executed, we accelerate the progress of the learning curve. Okay. Um, if they, we want them to maximize their contributions as quickly as possible. So it might as we might as well give them a comfortable start, taking away their anxieties and unnecessary precautions. We want them to be comfortable right away and maximize their willingness to work hard for the organization. Up next is socialization. So this is where when new employees feel more at ease and enjoy working for the company. You might have heard of people saying that one of the reasons to stay in the organization is that they love their colleagues or they love working with their colleagues. And so being able to socialize proper socialize well within the organization would help uh, would help the employee settle also. Uh, so uh, induction arrangements, including reception. So what can we do to help the starter feel that they are welcome? These are some of the questions that a starter may ask. What will the company be like? How will my boss behave towards me? Will I get on with the other workers? Will I be able to do the job? Right. So here are some of the checklists for reception that is recommended by Fowler 1996. So the first one is when the person arrives, we make sure that the first person that they meet knows that they are going to arrive and what to do next. Is it are they to be brought to the manager or to the HR manager? Right. So next is set a reporting time so that they don't have to wait too long, or they might even arrive earlier than the receptionist. Right. Likewise, we need to train the receptionist to be friendly and efficient with new hires so that they feel that they are welcomed and that everything is going smoothly. Perhaps their documents are being processed timely. So if the new starter must report to another location immediately, provide them with a guide. So for example, if this location is just for contract signing and they have to go somewhere, so give them a guide on how to go there. And likewise, avoid keeping the new starter waiting. So you have to be ready when they arrive. Don't keep them waiting too long. Likewise, do not hurry them on their first day. They might feel nervous, if they were being hurried. So these are just some of the things that we can do to welcome the person, the new hire properly. So in terms of documentation, we give them an employee handbook. And this employee handbook should convey clearly and simply what new staff need to know, right? And the employee handbook needs to discuss the following. So make sure that these are there. A brief description of the company, basic conditions of employment, the pay scales, the how to process sick leaves or leave of absences, other company rules and procedures, training facilities, health and safety arrangements, or even rules for using emails and even subsidies. Right. So these are just some, no, or at least the basic things that should be there in the employee handbook. So initial briefing. Um, Usually, the HR person or the HR representative would go over the basics, no, of introducing the person to the organization. However, for departmental induction, it should be the manager or the team leader. Right. Right. If they have to go to training, so they have to go through training first before joining the department. So continuing, new employees will be concerned about who they will work for. So who will be their boss, who will they work with, and what work they will do on the first day, uh, and other locations like entrance, exits, lavatories, restrooms, and the canteen. So with these information, no, the HR representative should already uh, give them a tour, no, or a basic guide, no, on where these are and who they will work with and who they will work for. However, important information should come from the manager, supervisor, or team leader, right? Why? We want the new employee, the new hire, to feel that the manager is not distant, no? That they are not very difficult to talk to or to connect with. No? We want them to right away feel that the manager is there to support them. So, with a detailed induction, that must be carried by the manager or the team leader. These should be the aims. Right? What are they? First one, to put the new employee at ease. We want them to feel welcome. We want them to feel that they are wanted, to be there. Right? Next is to make them be interested in the organization and in the job. I want them to want to be there. Uh, to provide basic information about working arrangements, like who should do this and that, uh, the hours perhaps, and how things are done. Right? To indicate the standards of performance and behavior expected from the employee. So of course this differs from one organization to another, but they need to know. The new hire should know, no? About the standards that they need to meet. And finally, to tell the employee about training arrangements and how he or she can progress in the company. Okay. So these are the detailed induction that the manager should make for new hires and what the aims should be. So there should also be a formal induction. Earlier, the one with the HR and the one with the manager, those are not necessarily formal. A formal induction may use media such as videos and other visual aids. You know? However, settling people well cannot be met by formal induction courses because the important thing is there should be a human touch. No, the person should know that he is welcomed by the people around him or her, okay? Not just by videos and visual aids. Okay? However, formal induction courses are done, because it also helps on other things that uh, the people from HR or the manager might have missed. Right? So induction courses should be scheduled as soon as possible. If possible, on the first day or at the latest on the first week. If this is still to be delayed, at least no, the key information that needs to be told should be given right away. So, for example, uh, if you are late for 5 minutes, you will be deducted this and that. So they should know that right away. So the content of the formal induction should include the following: information about the organization, learning arrangement and opportunities, performance management processes, conditions of service, including hours of work, holidays, sick leaves, uh, and other leaves, pay and benefits, policies, procedures, and working arrangements, and trade unions and employee involvement. So in terms of training, you know, for example, they are already hired and they need to undergo training. So these training should start with a job or skills analysis so that you can prepare a learning specification. What do they need to learn or still need to learn? Okay. Then you continue on with an initial assessment of what the new starter needs to learn from the skills analysis that you have done previously. Next is the use of designated colleagues to mentor the new hire. Okay? So these individuals should train in how to carry out this role. Okay? Next is coaching by the manager or the team leader, uh, specially appointed trainers. And finally, be given special assignments that can be used for them to learn from. Right? So these are what should happen during training, no, among new hires as part of the introduction to the organization. So thank you once again, and we will continue later with another report. See you.